Budapest is a cozy European city and a budget holiday destination. Bridges and cathedrals, fortresses and castles, famous thermal springs, and delicious Hungarian cuisine. This is what tourists come and even return to Budapest for year after year. The Hungarian capital is located on the banks of the Danube, where previously there were three cities: Buda, Óbuda, and Pest. Housing in the city can be rented for quite democratic prices. A link to the best deals on housing in Budapest we will leave in the description of the video. In the meantime, don't forget to give us a like and subscribe to our channel. Your activity charges us for new trips and new videos for our favorite subscribers. So, let's go. Top 9 interesting places in Budapest. Széchenyi Chain Bridge in Budapest is the oldest capital bridge over the Danube in Hungary. It was built in 1849 and at the time was one of the largest bridges in the world. Its main span over the Danube was over 200 meters. The inhabitants of Budapest call the bridge the Old Lady. The bridge is guarded by two huge stone lions. It is incredibly beautiful in the evening, when the arches of the bridge are illuminated from all sides. In summer, the bridge is closed on weekends, and then its territory serves as an arena for fairs and various performances. For 150 years of its humble service, the chain bridge has survived a lot of troubles, starting from builders' mistakes and ending with Austrian bombings and Estonian explosions. That is why the inhabitants of the city treat the Széchenyi Bridge with great reverence and celebrate November 20th as the birthday of the metal giant. Mount Gellert was named after Gerard of Hungary, a Catholic saint and educator of Hungary, who died when he was imprisoned in a barrel and thrown down the mountain. At its summit is the citadel, a structure that was built in the mid-19th century to control the city. At the walls of the citadel stands the Freedom Monument in honor of the liberation of Hungary from Nazi Germany, in the form of a figure of a woman with a raised palm branch in her hand. But the main thing at the top of Mount Gellert is not the citadel and the Statue of Liberty, but the views of the Danube and the Hungarian capital. From this point, you will see the bridges of Budapest and the main sites of the Pest district in all their splendor. Heroes Square is one of the main squares in Budapest, located at the end of Andrássy Avenue and next to Varoschliget Park. In the center of Heroes Square stands the Millennium Memorial, with the Archangel Gabriel on top and 7 Magyar leaders on a pedestal. At the foot of the column are majestic horsemen. These are the princes of the 7 Magyar tribes led by the leader, Prince Arpad, the founder of the great Arpad dynasty. On both sides are 2 semicircular colonnades with sculptures of kings and national heroes of Hungary. At the foot of the colonnade is a memorial to Hungarians who died in the world wars. Thanks to these people, the country gained its independence. That's why this place is called Heroes Square. This is the heart of Budapest. There are always many tourists here. Concerts and festivals are held on holidays and weekends. The beautiful Varoschliget City Park is located behind Heroes Square and is one of the most popular places for walks and entertainment among Budapest residents and visitors. The park's most famous attraction is the Váci Castle, built in 1896. The idea behind the pavilion was to mix elements of Hungary's most famous buildings into one building. In the center of Varoschliget City Park, there is the largest balneological complex in Europe, the Széchenyi Spa. The water here is supplied from a hot spring from a depth of 1,246 meters. The Basilica of St. István is located in the eastern part of Budapest, the historic Pest district. It is one of the tallest buildings in the city and is one of the 3 most beautiful churches in the country. The height of the basilica is the same as the height of the dome of the Hungarian Parliament Building, 96 meters. The cathedral is a striking example of neoclassicism, popular in the mid-19th century. The Buda Fortress, which later became a royal palace, is on the 3rd place of our top. It was built on a hill by the Hungarian king Béla IV for protection against the Tartars. Over time, the castle was surrounded by buildings and a town appeared, which was named Buda. Today, the Buda Castle is considered one of the main Budapest attractions. It is interesting for its many unusual and diverse places, the arrangement of which creates the feeling of being one city inside another. The second place of our rating is occupied by the Parliament of Hungary. The construction of the Hungarian Parliament Building lasted 19 years and was completed in 1904. It is the longest building in Hungary and one of the largest government residences in all of Europe. The front entrance to the Hungarian Parliament Building is located on Lajos Kossuth Square, and the most photographed part of it is on the Danube side. Although it is better to see the Parliament in detail and walk around it from all sides, but to see the majestic building in its entirety and to fit it into one picture, you have to cross one of the bridges over the Danube. The Fisherman's Bastion is one of the most famous architectural structures in Budapest and is among the most popular sites of the Hungarian capital. The complex is a square surrounded by a gallery with conical hipped towers, arcades, and balustrades. The construction was timed to coincide with the 1000th anniversary of the Hungarians finding their historical homeland, which was celebrated in 1886. Despite its name, the Fisherman's Bastion never served as a defensive structure. Previously, there was a square in its place, which was enclosed by a fortress wall. The square was a trading square, and local fishermen were allowed to display their catch on it in return for defending the walls in case of a military threat. The Fisherman's Bastion is also home to St. Matthias Church, one of the most beautiful buildings in Budapest. Its construction lasted for 2 centuries. The building is in the Gothic style and is so magnificent that even when the Turks captured the city in the 16th century, they did not destroy the church, but only covered the frescoes. It was in St. Matthias Cathedral that the coronations of the last Hungarian monarchs of the Habsburg dynasty, including Franz Joseph I and his wife Elizabeth, were held. Today, a visit to the Fisherman's Bastion complex is an invariable part of almost all excursion programs. According to tourists, it is one of the best viewing platforms in Budapest. Of course, every visitor to the city has his or her own plans for sightseeing in Budapest, and they depend on personal preferences and interests. But now you know exactly which sites are worth visiting first of all, and you can build your individual itinerary. Write in the comments what interesting places of the city should be included in our rating, and what impressions you have from a walk around Budapest. Don't forget to put likes and subscribe to our channel, and see you in the next video.